Good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here, and welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. Am I grateful to be here? Absolutely. Am I glad to be here? You know it. And if not, three most powerful and faith-promoting words that I've heard in a long time. Let me tell you the story behind that. Carolyn Thompson. Carolyn Thompson passed away this last Saturday. Within hours of her passing, I got a text. I immediately went to a book, Cutting to the Core, written by Carolyn Thompson, about her journey of building one of the most successful estate planning practices. She was acclaimed as one of the most accomplished estate planners in 3 states. If you know Carolyn, if you were part of Strategic Coach and had an opportunity to meet her there, or if you just know her and you don't have this book, order it from Amazon. Cutting to the Core. If you're someone that believes in faith first, family second, firm third, order it. I promise you, you will enjoy it as I have. Has lots of yellow markings in it. Lots of yellow markings in it. Let me just tell you the introduction. Let me share one quote with you from the introduction just briefly. It says this. This is her introduction to the book. Let me begin by asking you a question. What would happen if you were plucked from your life this very moment? How would your family feel? How would your business fare? How would you handle leaving everything behind? I ask because it's a question I had to answer in reality, and it rocked my world. Let's go back several years. Carolyn was one of the very first people to sign up for a Ragnar event, which was created out of WACI, which is a foundation that was created by our son Nick before he passed away. Warriors Against Cancer in Kids and Young Adults. She brought her son Taylor, her oldest son, because he's a ringer. He was on the cross-country team. And this is a 196-mile relay, so we'll take all the ringers we can get. But coming down the first slope, Taylor pulls his calf muscle, unable to run. Who takes his place? Carolyn. Along with a few of us that helped out individually, more others than me, but still was in there helping, but she was the one that wanted to make sure she took his place for him. Until the last leg of his runs. 3 mile was the last leg. It was a shorter distance, and he said, I want to do that. He gutted it out, limped his way through, gritted his teeth, ran that last 3 miles, and was proudly greeted by his mom at the finish line. Taylor, knows how to respond to adversity. Fast forward 3 years. Carolyn was one of the very first ones to sign up for our first rim-to-rim WACI hike. Now that was 25 miles rim-to-rim in a day in 113 degree heat. That's a tough challenge. 6 weeks though before the event, Carolyn gets a tougher challenge. She's diagnosed with an extremely rare and aggressive form of leukemia. So rare that she was required to go to MD Anderson to get a bone marrow transplant, which required her to leave her family and her business for 6 months and live in the Houston area. Who took her place? Taylor showed up with very little planning and one of his best friends, and he finished, guess when he finished? First. He finished first across that whole expansion for his mother. Taylor knows how to meet a challenge. Now, Lori and I, we got this text from her in July a year ago that says, Lee, I need you to come and be with me for 3 days. I understood the severity of it. I knew that she had a premonition that maybe this was getting close to the end. She had rallied so many times before, so much so that some of her closest friends started to almost doubt God because she had so much faith that God was going to heal her. Or at least that's the way they interpreted her faith. And so we rearranged our schedule. We flew out to South Dakota. We got to spend 3 days in her home with her, Taylor, and his brother Will and his sister Rachel. 3 unique young kids, totally different, but totally unique in their unique ability and their learning, and I can hardly wait to see their future. At the end of those 3 days, a couple of things happened. Let me read another section from the book. While she was living out of the hospital, but during the time she had to stay close to the hospital in Houston, she hired a man by the name of Alexis, carefully chosen to come in and help take care of the house and help her with chores, the apartment that she was in, get her to her appointments, etc. They were having a close conversation. This man was from Africa. He was from the Congo area, Rwanda, where genocide had occurred. He had been through so much, but had so much faith. And as they were talking, he says, Miss Carolyn, you didn't know that. Miss Carolyn, you didn't know it, but when I first met you, I was in your bathroom on my knees, and I prayed to the Lord for your journey, not your health, but your journey. Wow. When I read this, after that moment that I'd spent with her, let me tell you what else we learned there. As we talked about where she was at, her faith was that she would submit herself to God's will. I think she lived another year after we were there, and the things that she accomplished in a year were amazing. I truly believe that Carolyn lived every second of her appointed life here on earth, a privilege that not too many of us have, because I think most of us might leave a little early just because of some of the decisions that we make in our lives, the choices that we make. But what a blessing for her, what a blessing for her children. So the 3 words that she came up with, she knew that she had done everything she could do to help make her children become great decision makers. Her role was just to love them from this point on. But those 3 words were, and if not. Dear God, please heal me. And if not, please give me the strength to know how to use this experience to help others. Dear God, please heal me. And if not, bless my children, that they'll be able to reach out and understand this and be able to learn from it and become better people themselves to be able to help others. And dear God, please heal me. And if not, and she had a list of things then. And that was really the essence of Carolyn. And I have never forgotten that. I have never forgotten that. And then I read again this story of Alexis, and that's all he was saying. That he was praying for her journey, not her health. I hope this is helpful to you. It's been helpful to me. I'm so looking forward to going out to her funeral this coming Thursday. Lori and I will be there to honor somebody that has made a difference in so many people's lives, and to be there with her 3 children, to be able to take of their spirit and wish them well in their lives. Thank you for spending this time with me today. We'll talk next week. Bye-bye.